It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors, beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I am part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And also we have the Merman. And today the Merman is sporting an animal shirt.
It's my spirit animal.
Nice.
What is that? It's animal.
Funnily enough, is funnily a word?
Yes.
It is now.
I just watched the new Jim Henson
Documentary.
I did on Disney Plus.
Evil.
Yes.
Pure evil.
It is pure
Disney Plus.
Pure evil.
Pure evil.
Yeah, it's called Jim Henson Idea Man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about Jim Henson, so it was good.
Didn't you see that last year for screening for a film festival?
No, that was Mr. Dress Up, and I didn't see it.
Gotcha.
It was at the festival. I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
Everybody's
we
got
did.
their own documentary now.
That's right.
Like, what the hell's going on?
I don't have a documentary. Jim Henson Idea Man.
Yes.
Yeah, you should check it out. I think you'd like it. Yeah, so with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform.
I like this energy.
Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a movie membership with us, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And here's a hint that may happen later today in the podcast.
Wow.
But that movie must have played in a cinema somewhere in the world, and it must not be a children's movie.
Right.
You
Now-
guys took so long the sirens came out.
Now, let's get to raging.
Yeah. So I wore my animal shirt, and you two were on Valium. I don't know what's happening there.
What the amazing Murman predict? What the amazing Murman predict? Will he predict the rage or will he predict the mundo? Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce at the movies and come swimming to you? Swimmery, swimmery. Swimmery, swimmery.
Swim, Murray.
Swimming.
He needs
to
more drugs to be that excited.
you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you guys went to see 2 movies.
Yes.
One of them, I'm pretty damn sure you already saw.
Yes.
But whatevs. So, first one's called Ezra, which, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, hey, I might have actually gotten to see that one.
What?
If I had known about it, because when I left, you guys were talking about other movies that
Didn't come out.
I didn't want to see.
And then didn't come out.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I missed that one, because it had a few people I liked it.
There you go.
Whatevs.
Bobby De Niro.
Bobby hates Trump De Niro.
Mm.
Yeah. So it looked like a feel-good type movie and a lot of inspirational stuff. And autistic kid on a road trip with his
Yeah, what's that?
his comic dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
pretty much
I
summed
think
it
I
up.
would have loved it. I think you guys maybe just didn't quite give it a mondo. So let's go double man.
Double man.
Double
Yeah.
man.
All right.
The next one, I feel like you guys lobbed me a softball.
It was a little bit of a softball.
In a Violent Nature, which was at Cuff. I was there with you. I saw at least half of it. And I've heard you guys talk about it repeatedly. So, yeah, double mondo. I think we even put on your list when we were discussing Cup. So
I
whatever.
think it made our best of the festival.
I think
both
it
of
did.
us. Yeah.
So just on a hunch, maybe double Mondo.
It's a little more than a hunch.
Yeah, I think you might be right there.
I'm at least half right this week.
Yeah, you
It might be 100%
might be
right.
100% right.
Who knows? You know what?
Only time will tell.
We're going to find out almost. You could be 75% after we hear from Bryce.
You know what? I don't even think I need to do an introduction for the movie because Merman pretty much summed it up.
Do it anyway.
Yeah, do it anyway.
I saw 2 minutes of it. I saw all of it.
That's Murray's impression based on the trailer.
Yes, which is
So
not
what
always
actually
accurate.
what
It's-
actually happened in this movie, Bryce?
Exactly what Murray said.
No,
Oh,
there
yeah.
was more left out.
Yeah, there was
Was there?
a lot more.
No, there wasn't. That was pretty much it.
I know Whoopi's in it.
Whoopee.
Whoopie does make
For how
an
long, I
appearance.
don't know, but she was in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Just enough Whoopi to make me
Just
go
enough Whoopi.
Whoopi.
Whoopee.
Does Jimmy Kimmel show up? Because that would have prevented me from seeing
Jimmy Kimmel did show up.
it.
But not until
the
very,
very
late.
end.
Yeah, you
Did he play himself?
Yes.
played himself.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
So he wasn't
But
acting.
he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't in it.
yeah, well,
He was a closing credits guy.
Oh.
That
Well,
was it.
Bryce, tell him why the Jimmy Kimmel should be in it. Because Murray didn't explain that.
I did.
Why
not.
should Jimmy Kimmel be in it?
Yeah, like
Would
what?
you like
What was
me
the
to explain
reason?
the plot
Well,
in the
the-
2 minutes that I saw?
Yeah,
Well, I think Murray probably knows.
I know, but these people may not have seen it.
that's right.
Well, that's why. But you know. So go expand on your introduction.
I'll just wing it. Okay.
No, what was it about?
Okay.
Go.
Bobby Cannavale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in a bunch of stuff. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
plays a nightclub comic.
yes.
Yes.
And Whoopi Goldberg calls him up and say, "Hey, Jimmy Kimmel wants you."
So that would
Yes.
make her probably his agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Same
guess.
time, he's dealing with an autistic son.
Yes.
I'm guessing some kind of parental separation / divorce
Yes.
proceedings.
100% so far.
And I think De Niro plays his dad.
Yeah.
Sure
Yes.
does.
And they go on a road trip. He basically steals his dad's car.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Probably
Well, he does.
Probably kidnaps
Ish.
the kid too. I don't know.
Yes.
And they go cross country with the kid, and they have all kinds of adventures. That was the 2 minutes that I saw.
There we go.
But why are they going across country?
Well, he already said.
No, he didn't say
he
why.
did
He
say.
just said that they might.
Well,
be.
He already alluded to the
I assume
Whoopi.
they were
alluded.
I assume they were headed to L.A. where Jimmy Kimmel
That's
shoots his
why
show.
he went.
But
There we go.
It never really comes across in the trailer that he actually got booked by Kimmel.
So now I just have to give my rating.
I don't know if he was just gonna like show up at the studio and say, "Hey, here I am." Because you think you would have a certain date you'd have to be there by, but you're driving cross country with your car, so.
Honestly, you've nailed it. Like, that's exactly what the movie's about.
And that was
So
the
you
2 minutes that I saw.
you saw the trailer, and that tells you the whole.
the whole movie. So
There you
that's in itself is a problem. Very well acted movie. Like, everybody in it
almost.
almost was spot on. Bobby Cannavale, I mean, you don't see enough of him, to be honest. I enjoy his performance almost every time. Rose Byrne was good. She was a little overshadowed by other people
Rose
in the movie.
Byrne.
but
She's
she
very
was-
Rose Byrne.
She was very Rose Byrne. She's always solid. But Vera Farmiga had a little role in it, and she was
Yes.
tremendous. Rainn Wilson just
Yeah, Rainn
knocked it
Wilson,
out
I
of the
saw
park. And Robert De Niro is as good as he has been in
Recent
decades.
memory.
Since Taxi Driver.
Well, maybe not that long, but
No, why didn't you guys?
it's been
no,
it's
he
been
wasn't
decades.
He in, what you call it? You guys liked him in that, didn't you?
What you
In,
call it?
The Oppenheimer thing. Was
he
good
wasn't.
now?
He wasn't in that.
No.
Yeah, I thought he
That's
was.
a different Robert.
No, I thought De Niro was in it.
Robert
no, sorry.
Downey.
Oh, sorry, he was in the other one, the one about the killing the
Barbie?
flowers.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Killers of the Flower
Yeah,
Moon.
you
guys liked
where
him
he
in
was
that.
terrible.
He was okay
See,
in
there
it.
you go.
But this was the best he's been in forever.
There's too many Roberts apparently.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
That's why he calls himself Bob.
Yeah, there you go.
At any rate, performances were really. This is one of those odd movies where its heart is in the right place, the message is fine, even the situations are good, the whole structure of the movie is good, the journey he takes is good. There's only one problem: the writing is not good. These actors did everything they could with the material they were given. And at the end of the day, it just wasn't a very well written film. Really well acted. I like the journey that he took. I like the fact that we got to observe this, and we weren't really being told what to think at any time.
No.
We're observing how, I mean, most of the time you'd be thinking, man, this guy's a prick. And other times it's like, man, this guy is just doing the best he can. And you kind of arguing with yourself as you're watching, do I like this guy? Do I not like this guy? And they're not force feeding anything down your throat. Same with his father. Same with how his mother acts. There's a reason why they're doing everything they're doing, and it makes sense. The problem is the writing just isn't up to the concept. I liked the movie. I did. I thought it could have been a great movie, and it wasn't. So it was meh.
Yeah. It makes me think when you said that, specifically around that concept of not feeding you, and I agree. I mean, I'll tell you what I think more in detail, but in contrast to that, a heavy subject, not similar in any way, but a teacher's lounge.
Mm-hmm.
That same thing. Didn't force feed you,
Yep.
had it, but the writing was so good.
And that's the thing.
That's the difference between it. I mean,
absolutely.
Teacher's Lounge isn't a comedy, and there's so many things that are not different around it. But for as far as not force feeding you any agenda, and you compare those two movies, which are not alike in any way, but the idea of that, you have to conceptualize and feel what everybody's feeling around you through the movie.
And I'm this isn't a spoiler per se, but there's one thing in the movie that I think should have had me bawling by the end, and it didn't. Yeah. And it's the fact that this father, what he wants more than anything in the world is to hug his son. Like, that's all he wants.
What almost
more
every
than anything in the world.
autistic.
He just wants to be able to hug his son, and his son won't let. And then when that finally happens, I should have been like just waterworks.
Yeah.
But it wasn't there. Like, the emotion wasn't there because the writing wasn't there.
Yeah, of course.
But that should have been like even me talking about it now is getting me emotional, and I didn't write the movie.
I'm not emotional at all.
Yeah,
hearing you talk about it, and I was, to your point, I wasn't.
But you should have been.
Yes.
Like, that should have been what the whole thing was leading towards. Should have been that embrace where, and it happens in kind of a weird situation, and it was kind of okay, but it should have had me more emotionally invested. Yeah, and that's why I almost want to give this a rage, but I can't because there's too much good in it. Yeah. So it's a meh. Right. Okay, I'm done.
All right, well, Bobby Cannavale and Robert /Bobby/Bob/B De Niro, they got chemistry, yo.
They do, actually.
In fact, De Niro, as you've already mentioned, is probably the best he's been in years. And I'm going to say as far back as Taxi Driver.
Well, fair enough.
In fact,
I did a couple of casino and mobster.
Yeah, I wasn't even close.
He was not even close. This performance
he's dialing
was good.
it in. He was on fire in this performance. In fact, like you said, the entire cast was
so well
great.
Acted. They deserve better.
Well,
lines.
Almost all great. You know what I say about American kid actors? Nothing need more be said. I don't want to say too much, but everybody in this film was really good except for one. This film had a heavy concept tied around a comic with anger issues, with a failed marriage, and is a complete idiot, but one who is fighting, and I'm putting this in heavy quotes, for his son's something or other.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he's always fighting for something.
That's his thing, though. He's always fighting.
Exactly. Or at least protecting him from doctors who want to overprescribe drugs and want to put him in schools that will be with other kids also on the spectrum. That could possibly actually be good for the kid.
Could be good, and that's the whole thing, is you get why he's doing it, but you don't really agree with why he's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the ways that Bobby Cannavale's character is portrayed is a little not believable at times. Yes, parents that stand up for their kids are awesome, but this made him look crazy. And yes, that's what it probably wants us to think, but there is any real backup to his character to all of a sudden be super over the top on things. This is a road movie. Well, actually a double road movie. And totally know my dislike of single road movies. So a double road
Whatever. Road movies are great.
But the concept of this
Harold
film
and
is
Kumar, great.
Yeah.
Road Trip, great.
Euro Trip?
Euro Trip, great.
Freddy got fingered. Great.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the concept of this film is really good, but ultimately the delivery was done inconveniences and happenstances, which always annoy me about lazy writing, trying to force things into a fit just to get to an end that they want to get a result from. And although I think they did a good job not giving you the vision of one side or the other, they just allowed things to happen. But I think it wasn't enough clarity through a lot of it that the writing did show it was lacking. On top of that, everything seems to be half developed. But I did like a little of the humor, and as much as I didn't love the writing, the acting was what saved a lot of this for me as well. Otherwise, it would be a complete rage. I didn't hate it. I liked the original idea that it was trying to say, but I didn't love this movie because the writing was terrible. So it was a meh too.
It was a meh.
Double meh.
I almost went double mondo on that one.
Good thing you didn't.
I changed my mind. A couple tidbits for you guys.
Yes.
You know I love my useless.
I love tidbits.
Bobby Cannavale and Rose Byrne apparently are a couple.
Nice.
A couple of what?
They're dating each other since 2012.
That's why they had chemistry.
I don't
too.
know if they're married. And Tony Goldwyn, who
Yes.
directed it, as well as being in it,
Yes.
was also in Ghost with Whoopi.
What? There's so much.
So he got to direct Whoopi. There you go.
What?
There you go.
This is crazy.
There you go. Anyway,
This is crazy.
continue.
So remember the line that Bobby De Niro says? That, come on, you remember.
I can't say it.
You can say it. I'll fill the words in for you.
Was there swear words in it?
There was a swear
Yeah.
word.
Then Bryce won't say it.
Yeah. So,
Say fudge.
yeah, just say fudge and then I'll fill it in.
I'm trying to remember the exact line now. No, it's left me.
Or
You were
fiddlesticks.
basically saying it all.
Or fiddlesticks. He's fond of fiddlesticks.
So he basically says that there is something wrong with you because who cries as many times after fucking some stranger?
Oh yeah. Actually, he just says, who cries after bleeping a stranger?
Okay then.
And that was another scene that just didn't work. Like the De Niro's scene worked, but before
yeah.
that, it was like it didn't. They didn't show anything.
And I love
why.
that scene because he comes in and he offers to like make her something to eat and everything. She just wants to get the hell out of there. Like that whole scene was great. Scene before it, not so much.
Yeah, like it was just inconsistent.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot of good stuff in it. Most of it was De Niro, to be honest. Every time he was on the screen, it was gold.
I wouldn't say just De Niro. I would say the secondary characters.
De Niro was great. The whole thing with Rainn Wilson was great. The whole Vera Farmiga. The scenes with just her were great. I didn't need the kids and all that other stuff that was going on, but she was very good.
Yeah, and Bobby, both Bobbies were good. Like it was all a solid.
Tony Goldwyn
cast.
wasn't.
Oh yeah,
good,
they
but
were also
never
in,
good.
They were also in The Irishman together too.
Yeah,
FYI.
don't even
Yes.
remind me
The
about that
Bobbies.
terrible.
Yes,
piece of poop.
Bobby Cannavale and Bobby De Niro.
That terrible piece of poop of a movie.
Oh, whatever. That was a good movie.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it was meh.
It was awful.
Half
it
of
was
it
rage.
was good. It wasn't 4 hours long.
You know what was good about it? That I don't ever have to watch it again. That's what was good about it.
See.
All right, so we also went and saw In a Violent Nature
Why?
because we didn't get a full review of it on our podcast already. We just got to tell a little bit about it because we saw it before it came out in major release. So now, because we only had 2 movies to see this week, we wanted to see it again.
Okay.
So, we've now seen In a Violent Nature twice in the cinema.
I'm guessing the theater wasn't as packed as it was the first time.
No,
No, it wasn't.
no, it wasn't. But there was a few number of people for a late night Monday night
there's
movie.
some
It was pretty good. So imagine a director and a production team that loves the slasher genre so much and wants to do a new slasher that is 100% a ripoff of every other slasher that has ever been
come
before
along.
it.
But with a twist.
But at the same time, make it with the killer's perspective. But not like in a hardcore Henry-like perspective, but like a guardian angel that
Yes.
hangs over the killer, and we
just follow him around.
and he walks really slow.
we the viewer
It's so good.
are the
He
guardian
never runs
angel.
once that I saw.
No, why would he run?
He doesn't. He steps fast a couple of times.
Yeah, not too fast.
Well, there was a little bit of stepping
Because he's
fast.
chasing young people who run twice as fast
But they
as him.
all fall.
No, but they fall and stuff happens.
Because they're stupid.
Plus, they get tired, and he doesn't.
Yeah,
get
he doesn't
tired.
get.
He just keeps on going.
He's not tired.
He is focused, my friend.
Yes.
Sure.
So now on top of that, throw in some of the most creative kills, like a wood slicer, a stab choppy scene that lasts what seems like hours, and of course, Namaste motherfuckers, the best yoga kill scene
I
ever
love the
in a
yoga
horror
moment.
movie
Yoga moment,
ever
good.
made. Where, yes, we get every trope from every slasher, including annoying 30-year-old teenagers, crafty old survivors, and a supernatural killer that cannot be stopped. But made with so much love and care that this actually transcends homage and copy and creates its own genre of slasher film. I am now dubbing not subtle homage original horror. That is this genre.
Not subtle homage original horror.
Yes, that
That's,
is exactly what this
that
genre is. And
It
so
may
far
be
it's
it may
the
be what
only-
it is, but that's not very catchy, Jim. I don't think that's gonna catch
Well,
on.
let's acronym that. NSHOH.
that's easier.
HOH.
Nisaho.
We could just go SHOH.
Actually, that's the one.
Shaw.
Anyway.
Shaw. It's a Shaw genre. Shaw.
Totes.
Yeah, but that's totally
Yeah.
what it is, because we don't get very often, like, there's too many people that try and trope things or try and do homage things, and it just comes off as not as good as the originals. This to me was so much better than any, like, I'm standing on a stack of satanic Bibles here and I say this is the best slasher film I have ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of slasher. Slasher was never my favorite genre, but the reason what this does right is the funny parts that we are supposed to get as inside jokes as a fan of the genre, we get. But at the same time, you have this whole vision of who this guy is that is just over the top. So I absolutely love this film. I'm not done yet.
All right.
Now, where was I? Because I loved it so much. I'm too literally excited. Yeah. So they made a film that might not, in addition to me, but maybe everybody else that sees this will also catch the same drift. Like, I'm anxious to know what true slasher fans. So I can't wait to hear more of what you have to say. This. If I get to watch this every week for the rest of my life, I may live a happy and long and fulfilling life, which absolutely makes this film as a mondo. I have some things I want to unpack, but they're more loves specifically about this film. So now I want to know, a true slasher genre lover that grew up with slasher as his chosen horror film. Now it's not, but before that was your genre, right?
Yeah. For the longest time, I loved slasher movies. Anytime something got released, it didn't matter how schlocky it was. I was first in line to watch it. But this movie is completely unique, and it is a horror movie that has some horrific things in it. But I will be the first to admit that it's not scary at all.
No.
Because there's no jump scares, there's no building tension or everything, because you're literally standing behind the killer the entire time. So you see everything coming from a mile away because you're standing behind the killer.
Yeah, you know what he's thinking and doing when you're watching him.
And when you think of that, you think, well, how could this be effective then? Because it does everything else so unbelievably well. it has some pitch black humor in it that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just so funny. It's also kind of satiates our bloodlust, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because every kill scene it's amazing. Like every kill scene is memorable.
amazing.
It doesn't matter if it's, you know, the head getting cut in half against the tree. The yoga kill is like epic. The log splitter is epic. And that scene, I mean, I know we saw we actually had the Q&A with was the director, was it not?
Yeah.
And he actually said that they wanted to extend that log splitter scene and actually cut off more parts, but
They ran out of money.
But that scene went on for quite a while.
More than most horrors would do.
It's amazing how this movie can just take the camera, set it on this scene. Everything happen and nothing happens fast. Everything happens as it would happen with this particular guy. And it's all so good. And it's amazing. Every single time, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Every single time. And it's so
you
good.
you just know it's happening, and you're just the anticipation of it happening. But at the same time, you're like, what exactly is going? Like, you know that she's going to get killed from the yoga scene.
Oh, yeah.
You know it, but you have no idea how he's going to do it.
And that's the other great thing about this movie is that every kill is unique.
Yes,
it's not just hacky hack every time.
Yeah, and it's
completely unique.
Yeah, and each one is somewhat over the top.
Yep.
The thing that I'm assuming this is Mondo.
It is Mondo, and it's a horror movie too. That it's pretty simple in its premise.
Yeah.
And it's all around, you know, there's a necklace.
Yep.
He wants it back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and also the necklace traps him.
It traps him in his grave.
In his sacred grave.
But I think it's more that, and maybe I'm reading too much into this. I think it's more that he can be at peace when he's got the necklace. So even that the necklace is above him and he can be in his grave and he's at peace.
Yeah.
But the necklace gets and then that's when all hell breaks loose.
That's when he needs to get his necklace back, and everybody that gets in his way,
that's why
has to pay.
And that's why the ending, even though I mean it's got a bit of a twist ending, sort of anticlimactic, that is kind of brilliant in a way.
It's absolutely brilliant, because everybody that I know that has seen this movie and talked about it with us, I've always said, I thought this was going to be Texas Chainsaw ending. And for those of you who haven't seen it and you're still going to go see it,
it's not.
It's a different ending than that.
Yeah.
But we're not going to tell you what it is.
No, we're not going to tell you what it is. But it's so
satisfying.
It's so satisfying. Here's my one thing that I don't like about it.
But wait, does this make it not the best slasher movie for you ever made?
I think it actually is the best slasher movie ever made.
So you agree with me?
I do.
Okay, good.
I wish it did one thing though.
What?
I wish it didn't call itself In a Violent Nature.
Oh, why is that?
I think that they needed to lose the inna. I think this just needed to be Violent Nature. And I think it's a better title. It's catchier. And it lends itself to sequels better too. Violent Nature 2, Violent Nature 3, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, but
In a Violent Nature, it's a mouthful. And it didn't need to be inna.
Well, okay, but won't this be even better if there's no sequel to this?
It will be.
And then In a Violent Nature makes perfect sense.
True.
So let's hope that there's not a second one.
There's going to be.
Because it's going to destroy it has to make enough money. So
yeah, there will be.
But there's a couple things I wanted to bring up. So things in like the detail pieces in here, and this is like from the geek side of things.
Yep.
The music on the cassette tape. So this guy is listening to a cassette tape.
Yep.
And he gets killed. And what's great is that you get the opinion he's been walking with this dead body for a while because he drags it around
to the point that
because there's no music in this.
Dies.
There's no music in this movie, but the music that you do get is him and listening to the cassette tape as it slowly the battery dies. It's just
for Walkman.
What's that? It's like a Walkman.
Oh, it's Walkman,
yeah. Because it's like vintage. Like even the people in the movie are vintage, right?
Yeah.
And also taking his time. Like when we watched this the first time, it was in a sold out crowd, and everybody was still pretty respectful to the film itself.
But every now and then it got a little rowdy in there, and you didn't hear everything that we heard second time around.
Second time around, you could hear more, see more. And in particular, like, I didn't know in the first time I watched it that the guy who he kills with the woodcutter, that he was still alive through it. Yeah. And watching it this time, he's alive. He's alive. He's alive as he's going through it. So that was another one. But and even the hacky at the end, I don't remember actually hearing it. Like, no, see, that's while she's still running through the woods, and then all of a sudden she gets this other point. Then you can still hear it. It's like, oh my God, she's close to him again. That's why when we watched it the first time, I said to you, that was my favorite kill. Yeah. And you're like, what? You mean you didn't love it as much as the Yogo kill? And I'm like, no, because he's still chopping like hours later.
I will say that kill made me laugh more, because every time I heard I couldn't help it. I was just so cracking up.
That kill was totally in a violent nature.
Yes.
Huh? See what I did there, Mur?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, this is a piece of art, I'm telling you.
The closing credit song?
Yes.
Little black flies. Oh my God.
Black flies, little black flies, always a black fly. Black flies picking my bones in North Ontario. In North Ontario. Yes. Yeah. No, it's so good. That's the other thing we didn't get, I don't think, because I think they went into the Q&A, and I don't remember hearing the Black Flies song. I think they cut the music and
cut the audio.
Yeah.
They do that.
Which I'm so glad that we got to see.
So we could get some.
You know what?
Black Flies.
We don't. Like, for people who listen to us regularly, we normally don't rewatch movies because there's too much new content that we have to continually watch all the time, because that's what drives us is new content.
I'll be honest, when you said, you know what, let's watch this again, I was like, really? I mean, I know I liked it. I know I loved it, but really, it wasn't that long ago. We're going back and watching it again, and now I thank you, Jim. It was a different experience this time because it wasn't in a packed crowd, which was a lot of fun.
Yep.
But this time I got all the little nuances that I missed the first time because it was in a packed crowd, and there was so much, gasping and laughing, and this time it was just us making noise, basically. So
and hot dogs in the cinema.
Yeah. But no, I'm so glad I watched this a second time in theater and on a nice huge screen with good sound.
Yes.
And it was just amazing. I love this movie.
As do I. I have a feeling it may make our top 10 for next year.
It's possible.
So. Yeah.
Mondo!
How creepy is that mask?
So good. It's literally the best horror mask ever in any movie ever.
I don't know, the half I saw, I would have given it a mad based on just the kills, but yeah, he moved way too slow, and there just wasn't enough kills in the first half.
You know what? There's a scene in the movie where he's walking along. I just want to talk. Let's not do anything else on this podcast. Let's just talk about this movie.
Let's do that.
Because we don't never do that. We don't just talk for hours about one movie, but this is one of those movies that should. There is a scene in the movie where he's walking through, and it's at I think sunrise, and the color saturation of his darkened body over the sun was like one of the most perfect shots, and that's what makes this also so good, and it transcends other slashers, because slasher films are not like, I don't see a slasher. I've never seen a slasher film and went, wow, look at the shot.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the forest.
Beautiful film to look at.
And there's a scene with the let's call her the final girl, where she's just looking out into the forest, and it's just the awe of what she's been through and what she's looking out into, and you're just like, this is a beautiful, beautiful movie. There's a lot of violence, and it's delicious violence, but it's so beautifully shot.
It's Mondo.
It's super Mondo. Now, when you get to see the whole thing, you know what, Marie? We should watch it together this weekend. I'll watch it again.
I don't think I'll watch it again.
I want to see this every week, because with movies like this in my life,
Yes.
Now I kind of see why people rewatch terrible Star Wars movies.
I would definitely rather go see that than Bad Boys. I can tell you
Oh
that.
God, yeah. Let's not remind ourselves. That'll be a torture for next Monday.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Not to me.
Murder myself before then.
All right, well, I'm going to switch gears here after you guys talked about violence for 20 minutes.
You're talking about love? You're talking about a rom-com?
I'm always talking about love. you
Yeah.
know.
What about love? Don't you
well-
want someone to care about you?
What's love got to do with it? That's what I want to know.
not the one.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I did two things I really didn't want to do.
Mm.
And no, I'm not talking about getting into a canoe for the first time in 40 years.
Whoa.
Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
First thing I did was give money to Disney Plus.
What?
The most evil corporation on the planet.
Wait, did
by
you watch Grogu?
subscribing to their service.
Did you watch Grogu?
Yes, but that is not movie related. So
Oh.
I'm skipping past that. Second thing I did was actually watch something on a streaming service, which I am
What?
also against. I guess at least I can catch up on all the crappy Star Wars and Marvel shows before I cancel at the end of the month.
That's right.
The reason was obvious.
You were
and
wanting to watch-
Bryce already alluded to it. The film was Jim Henson's
Ah.
idea, man.
What?
There you go.
Directed by my former and future favorite director,
Opie
Ron
Cunningham.
Howard.
Yep.
Now that Taika Waititi has decided to make crappy movies.
That's right. He has.
'Cause he was my number one. Because I went back
even
and looked,
start.
and he was my number one for a while. After Ragnarok, he was my number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he shit the bed.
Yeah. Like double shit the bed.
yeah.
Don't forget that.
Jim Henson played a huge part in my childhood.
That's why he's
And
wearing
pretty
his
much
helmet.
everybody
No.
else in my age bracket.
Yeah.
He created Kermit the Frog, Sesame Street, The Muppets,
Mm-hmm.
Fraggle Rock,
Mm-hmm.
and feature films Dark Crystal and Labyrinth.
Yes.
The documentary had wonderful behind-the-scenes footage of the magic that Henson and Frank Oz created with their silly puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching them, like with Bert and Ernie on their hands, and like I never
That was
even
really cool.
realized that the whole set was like 5 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I never even knew that. Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie, Ralph, the dog, Gonzo, Swedish Chef, and Beaker, and my favorite animal.
Animal. Animal.
Pure delight to this latchkey kid from a single-parent family. They were my friends along with Bert and Ernie and Grover and Big Bird and Cookie Monster.
Grover.
Grover. Super Grover.
Gonzo's my favorite. He always was.
Gonzo?
Gonzo's
Really?
fun, but
Yeah.
can't beat the
He's
Beaker
my
and the Swedish
favorite.
Chef.
My favorite's probably Guy Smiley.
Yeah, he was alright too.
It's because he looks like you.
The only
hilarious.
drawback of this documentary is that Jim Henson was not a controversial man.
No.
The
no, it
worst
wasn't.
thing you can say about him is that he got a divorce. And that was only because his work
Scandalous.
consumed his life so much he didn't have time for his family.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing I think he ever did in his life. Which is something you can say for a lot of fathers, especially in the 60s and 70s. Jim Henson led a simple and honest life, brought joy to children all over the world. Much like the director, my main dude, Opie Cunningham,
Yes.
was also not controversial.
No.
No.
Sadly, Jim Henson died far too soon. He was only
Agreed.
53.
Yeah,
the
Bryce.
same age I am now.
Yes.
Mm.
And with Bryce and all his ailments that he goes, I don't need to go see the doctor.
Yeah, my body takes care of
I
it.
predicted that he's
Well,
gonna
that's what
die
happened
the
to
same
Jim.
way.
No.
Jim's like, it's just a cold. I can fight it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Bryce would say.
He died of pneumonia.
Yes,
Just
Bryce.
days before he was about to sell his company to Disney.
He was a workaholic though.
That's not you.
Well,
No.
Unfortunately, it happened anyway eventually, and they now own Kermit and Friends.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for his lack of trying to protect people. He wanted to give all the money from the sale to the puppeteers. But of
Mhm.
course, then he died.
And all the puppeteers got fucked
Yeah, exactly.
because it's Disney.
Because it's Disney. Still, Henson's legacy is undeniable.
Yep.
It's not easy being green. R.I.P. Mr. Henson, and thank you.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, there's been so much like through the years for like you say from our age and maybe a little older, even the parents. Like, I was too old for when Sesame started, but I still remember still watching it because I thought it was cool. The guest stars they had on Sesame Street.
I had 2 channels in the 70s, CBC and CTV. So of course Sesame Street was on every day.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I just love Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
Rubber Ducky.
I loved seeing gay characters that early on.
right.
And it's like, why aren't we seeing more gay
Jim
characters?
Henson was ahead of his time.
Absolutely.
But yes, it
But-
was so fun to watch him do all that. Even like the feature films, which apparently bombed at the box office, but are not classics.
Yeah.
I actually need to watch Labyrinth again because I've watched it. I watched it once when I was maybe, I don't know, whenever it came out in
And
the
not to
theaters.
mention,
what,
like
what,
one of
the
my
mid-80s?
major celebrity crushes was in it.
Yeah.
She was only 14. Jennifer Connelly.
Wait,
Maybe
what?
it was Dark Crystal. It was one of the two.
That was odd, by the way. Jennifer Connelly almost all of a sudden popped up at the end of the documentary, like said like 2 sentences.
Yeah,
That was all
yeah,
she was
she
in.
was 14 and she was like dancing with whoever the prince was. Was it Bowie? I don't know who it was.
David
but
Bowie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
That was like her first thing she ever did.
That's one of the reasons I suggested that Bryce should rewatch it, because there's so many shots of David Bowie's package in that. It's just worth the price of admission.
Yeah. Well,
Like I went, man,
I'm gonna
but
watch it.
David Bowie
but
is a
not
big
for that.
star.
Yeah.
And when you get to see that giant penis on the big screen, is there like a 25th or a 50th or a 30th anniversary? Because we really should go watch it in cinema to get the full effect of how big David Bowie's penis is.
Aren't those now owned by Disney?
In
so
those
they
pants.
probably bleeded
They
it out.
put a black mark
Put
over
a black
David-
bar in front of it because it's on
David
Disney.
Bowie's penis.
Or digitally shaved it off.
Anyway, yeah. Despite my
Jared's non-sexual.
despite my hatred of Disney, it was worth the $15 just to watch that.
15. Why didn't you
well,
get the $8.99
I
version?
I
with
tried
commercials?
on freaking Telus, and then they charged me 15 because apparently my TV is not new enough to get the Disney Channel because it's listed on the box. But I think I need like a 4K box or some crap, so I still have to watch it on my laptop.
Nice.
So whatever. And yeah.
Oh, get your money's worth out of it. There's
and-
other content. on there.
Yeah, no,
Grogu.
I
Do all you can.
I caught up on the first 2 seasons of that.
Nice.
And yeah,
There's all sorts of Marvel
I watched
crap
the
you probably
first
have to
season, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling this at all. Thankfully,
'Cause-
this halfway through the second season, it's like, oh, it's getting good. Now it's like lightsaber battles and stuff, and then the end of season 2, it's like awesome. Because I'm trying to watch them in order because the timelines are all over the place.
Oh, you're talking Star Wars.
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
And then I did watch Ahsoka, and only to discover that it's actually the live action version of the animated version, which was already done, because of course my favorite character is in it.
Yeah, but also it's because Disney doesn't have any original
Anyway,
ideas.
so yeah, I'm gonna watch all the Disney crap I can for the next 3
There you
weeks.
go.
Yeah.
And,
we all
and-
have that to look forward to, hearing about it.
And
on
there's
the
also a new
Murman.
one just started yesterday, so that one looks interesting.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah. So
What
that's
started yesterday?
a new series, The Acolyte.
The Acolyte. What's
Yeah,
that?
it's 100 years before Anakin was ever born.
Oh, it's another
in the,
Star Wars
the
one.
Dales. It was in the days of the newer, like the old Republic, like
So-
before the Empire came along.
You're Mr. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Are they actually making the movie that I heard about? It's like Ahsoka and
I heard they're making
Boba Fett and the Mandalorian all in one
Well, no,
movie.
Boba Fett. Actually, if you watched Grogu, he shows up. The original Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Which is like, holy shit, it's Boba Fett.
Well, I thought they were gonna have some weird crossover with all 3 of those,
They
and they were
probably
making
will,
a
but they
feature.
already did 2 because they did Mandalorian and Boba Fett because Boba Fett wears Mandalorian armor.
Because
Yeah.
he's a
he
Mandalorian.
comes to get back.
But it's
And then
gonna be a movie,
but he ends
right?
up being a good guy. And now it's actually a book of Boba Fett, which I haven't watched yet.
Oh, it's good.
But
And
is
then
there
there's Mandalorian
is
season
there a
3.
movie?
I will
coming?
say that the Star Wars series, for the most part, are pretty good.
They're
The
okay.
Book of Boba Fett was good. Mandalorian, I really liked.
Yeah, see,
'Cause of Grogu.
some are too based on kids, and some they actually do go dark, but not dark enough. But
No, nothing is ever
Well,
dark enough.
everything's
for me.
going to be dark, or
and
not dark
apparently,
now. At
sometime in the
Disney's.
future,
making it.
Rey is coming
It's
back.
poopy.
She's going to be teaching much new Jedi.
Ugh,
apparently.
you know what? I'm already tired of this conversation
know.
because I don't like Disney.
All right, well, I just gave you something to rage about then.
There you go.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
So, I didn't really have a lot to rage about this week because, other than the writing from Ezra, which I didn't think it was great, it wasn't enough to make me rage because I still thought the movie was meh. But what I'm gonna rage about is, first off, thanks Murray, because you gave me that. I'm gonna say anything Disney makes me vomit.
Yes.
So that's one.
That's why you know how hard it was for me this weekend to actually give them money.
Push that button.
Yeah, I had to push the button.
But what I'm gonna rage about is the combos at the movie theater. So I only bought a combo at the movie theater last weekend because I wanted to get the free rental. But they make you buy a large everything.
Yeah, large everything, which is like 20 some bucks just for the combo.
I don't know. It was like $100 or something. And
like
then
that.
I had like 2 handfuls, and then I just gave it to Bryce. So
Yeah,
popcorn
that was
I
good,
assume.
actually. You should do that more often.
yeah,
I assume you meant the popcorn, not the candy.
yeah. No,
No,
I
I
still
didn't-
have.
no candy.
He doesn't eat
Eek.
candy.
I know.
But and I still have half the candy.
Sugar, that'll
But you
kill
know
you.
what I do have is I have a free movie rental
There you go.
on Cineplex. So here's the thing. My ultimate rage is that we've got 2 major movie
Houses.
companies, Landmark and Cineplex. And they create things that are similar, but they're not similar. So you get some things at Landmark that is really good and some things at Cineplex that are really good. But why can't they just why don't we just have one giant monopoly? Because then we would get all the flavored drinks. Because Bryce, in his infinite wisdom, because he had no time.
By the
to
way,
book
we
us on
don't
the pip.
want a giant monopoly. Just
Well,
shut
I'm sad to
up.
say it's going to
But
happen.
I want all the good things from both at
'Cause
both cinemas.
Cineplex,
Oh my
Cineplex
God.
is actually looking at buying Landmark, so
Well,
it's going to happen.
Well, I don't know if it can happen. But what I do want
it might.
is I want those more flavors of pop.
Yeah.
I want free movie rental when I buy a combo, but I only want that combo from Landmark. So it's just like there's no hybrid for me. I wish I lived in the States and we could go to the whatever that AVX.
AMC.
You pay $20 a month and you can watch every movie you want as many times as you want. Like to me, that's what
It doesn't
we should
include
have.
snacks, though.
Yeah, who cares? Like, the amount of money we spend watching movies every
Yeah.
week, even though we get it discounted. I just want to watch everything all the time. That's one. Yeah. So
to
you
go,
know what? My
but-
rage is all over the place this week. But
Yeah, I know.
I don't
Like-
even know what I'm going to put.
Well,
as your rage.
mine
Like, fuck
is,
you, Disney.
as always, Cineplex sucks. I will always stand by that.
Yeah.
I prefer Landmark.
Ah,
Because they had the
Cineplex
combo
is
I like.
fine.
Because unlike Bryce, I can't eat 3 bags of popcorn in one sitting.
yeah.
I used to be able
I
to.
order the little. It's almost a little kid's combo. It's like the small combo. It's a tiny little box of popcorn, and you get a chocolate bar, and you get the drink. And I can upsize my drink, and it's still less than $10.
There you go.
And that is all I need for a movie. I
Nice.
can't do that at Cineplex.
No,
The freaking drink is $7.
that's right.
That's stupid.
Throw that on my pile.
There you go. All right then.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy this week.
We
I
need
guess.
to wake him up.
That's not normally like you.
I guess.
Happy.
Yeah,
Poke him
it
with a
isn't.
stick.
If anything, my rage is maybe Robert De Niro's agent.
Yeah, that's a. You know
Because
what?
it's not like he doesn't, because he showed that he's got the ability still to act his ass off
And pick a good
and
good idea. to
yeah,
do it.
and take a and really he took a character and he made it so much better than it deserved to be based on the writing.
Yeah.
Because he's a good actor.
And he is. So
Sometimes
there was a character there for him, but he's also in like his. Like, I don't know if it's De Niro or if it's his agent or it's a combination of two, but come on, About My Father, like, just total garbage.
I liked it.
The Comeback Trail, total garbage. The War with Grandpa, total like
That
what
one
is
I
he
enjoyed.
That was
Oh
bad.
my God!
Didn't it have James Caan in that too?
I don't even remember. I know Christopher Walken was in it because he
Yeah.
had that one line.
That's right.
Something
All the
about
old farts are in that.
he died while skydiving.
See, it's funny.
no,
even
it's
now.
Sorry.
He died in his sleep while skydiving.
See? That was a good movie. You're
There you
dumb.
go.
That was the only line, and I messed it up. But one good line, and it had nothing to do with De Niro. De Niro was terrible in it. And it wasn't that, it's just that it's such, he chooses such crap. And I realize at some point you get to a certain age and you take what you can get.
No, he's
but
old.
there's
He doesn't
also
wanna-
still roles out there for you, and you don't have to take every schlock piece of garbage.
You know, there's a difference between, say, De Niro, who's been taking a bunch of shit, and what's his name? The dude from The Sound of Music. That
Christopher Plummer?
Yeah, Christopher Plummer's a perfectly good example. As he aged, every movie he made near the end of his career, they were fantastic roles, like just fantastic
I
roles.
know.
Or Max von Sydow before he died.
Good examples.
Those are ones.
And
that,
these are guys that were on their freaking deathbed. I mean, De
know,
Niro's
Max-
nowhere near that right
Max
now.
von Sydow was in Flash Gordon, so
Yeah, exactly. A fantastic movie,
I don't know about that.
and
That
he's
was-
brilliant
He
in
was
it.
in it when he was
He was
a much
also
younger
in one of
man.
my
Yeah.
favorite movies of all time, which I wouldn't even
Flash.
say was his best.
Ah!
Strange Brew.
He was definitely in it, and he was excellent.
And
in
Yeah,
it.
he was
that's what I mean.
alright.
But his movies later in his life, he chose better movies.
He actually chose better as he
went
got older.
back
yeah.
to his early.
So it can be done.
It
So what is
can-
De Niro
so
doing?
Just say no to terrible movies.
That's it.
And yes to movies where there's an opportunity to shine.
Here.
You know what? That was a good rage.
It was
liked
okay.
It's bad. I think it was better than mine, which is rare for
Wow,
you.
yours was all
Yours
over the
is-
place. I don't even know what yours was, Jim.
He doesn't
It
like
was
he doesn't
on-
like buying condoms. Combos.
Condoms?
Condoms?
Yeah, condoms.
I also don't like buying condoms.
Who does?
There is a combo I'm waiting for.
Oh.
You know
Okay.
which one it is.
I don't.
Oh, the one where you get to stick your hand in someone's ass.
That's right. Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's right.
I've seen the popcorn bucket. I'm buying
but
that
wait,
bucket.
is the I forgot? Is there both heads on either
I
side?
don't know.
So you,
No, I think it's just Wolverine for now, but they may make one with Deadpool where
See,
it's his ass.
I think it would be better if it was Deadpool's ass and it comes out Wolverine's mouth. That's the
You never know.
That's the
Anyway.
popcorn bucket I want.
That's just fun.
So there you go.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Oh, the lists. Go to our website, Film Rage YYC, and check out our page called The Lists. There is 5 lists. There is the Mesmerizing. There is the Repulsive. There is the Doubted, the Undoubted, and the recently departed from the Mesmerized list because they were knocked out. So the Mur challenged us to see if we could get rid of either Michael Stuhlbarg, or Mark Rylance in the film Bones and All. And
It's kind of unfair.
it's a little unfair, only because Stuhlbarg isn't in it long enough. But, I mean, here's my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's possible for anybody to take out Mark Rylance.
I don't think it's possible either.
There's not a
that's why it's
person
unfair.
alive-
There's just nobody.
There's nobody qualified except maybe
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
That's it.
But if Daniel Day-Lewis comes out of retirement, no one can possibly take Mark Rylance out.
They are. I'm gonna say it. Mark Rylance and Daniel Day-Lewis are my 2 favorite actors of all
time. I mean, Tom Hardy's up there for me too.
Tom Hardy's great, and Tom Hardy, by the time his career's over, might be up to those 2.
Might catch up to Mark Rylance.
But man, that is an actor, man. That is an actor.
The scene where Mark Rylance in his underpants is eating that old lady with what's her name? Taylor.
She's so good.
What's her name? Taylor Russell.
Yeah.
And his balls are hanging out of his crappy white tidy whities.
Tidy whitey's and his blood-stained wife beater.
Like, he's just so brilliant. And the sad thing is, Stuhlbarg, during his 6.5 minutes, because I timed it,
He was good.
he was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
But-
But you're talking about going against Mark Rylance. It's just impossible.
You know what? And it's sad because Stuhlbarg's knocked out a few himself.
Yeah.
right? So,
I don't know. I mean, having seen both of them in a couple movies,
yep.
I'm not crazy about either one of them. I mean, they're both okay. I would have never put them on a mesmerizing list, but if I had to pick one of the two, it would definitely be Rylance.
Okay.
I never liked Stuhlbarg. Never liked them.
Wow.
Yeah. But he also doesn't like Clifton Collins
Yeah, well,
either.
there
So
you go.
why? I don't know, because he's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that's someone who could take out Rylance. I don't know.
No, I don't. Wow,
Be in the
he's
same
good,
movie
but
together,
I don't
don't
think
they?
so. Rylance is
See,
just
the problem
on a-
here is they have to be in the same movie together,
I know.
which I'm finding tougher to do.
I know.
Yes.
If you look at my list, half of the list of people who are on here, there's no matches.
Yep.
Mm.
So
Which
there's like-
means
there's
that they
nothing left.
potentially
There's
are
nothing left.
mesmerized for life.
There's nothing left. There really isn't.
That's it. We've
Nothing
made it.
left.
I've got like 2.
Oh, you've still got 2. Okay.
Oh, 3, I guess.
Nice. What you got?
And I still don't know what and Punching the Clown, what we decided about that one. Because I still have it on here.
What? Somebody's punching a clown?
It's called And Punching the Clown. It's got Tig Notaro and Clifton Collins. But I'm sure I brought it up before. I don't know why I keep putting it on here.
And
but
Punching the Clown?
that's what it's called.
It's called punching the clown?
And Punching the Clown.
And
An or and?
maybe
A-N-D.
Tig Notaro's not in it long enough.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure we talked about it before, but I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, there's not a whole lot left here. So let's go with the one that's been here for a while. We got Stephen McCaddy
Okay.
and Michael Ironside.
Okay.
Oh, Canadian.
Tokyo Trial.
Tokyo Trial.
Tokyo Trial. Caddy.
Yeah, I got like 3 matches left, and then we're out. So
Well, then you know what?
unless you put somebody else. in
Other
there.
than I mean that's definitely possible.
Like, we're not going to get down to one person because half the people on the list are either dead or else they're not making movies anymore, or else there's no matches for them. So.
Oh, and there you go. Well, let's.
So anyway, Tokyo Trial, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Done.
Done.
By the way, just to let you know, Chris Nash is only 7 films away from being Undoubted.
The hell's Chris Nash?
He's
There you
the
go.
director of In a Violent Nature. He has made 1 feature.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that didn't even occur to me.
Nice. Well,
I was
he's
going to say
young.
Tom Hardy has to make a few more movies because I think the last one that I remember that wasn't so good was Venom 2.
Yeah, he can't be Undoubted.
No.
But we haven't, as much as he hasn't. I mean,
I don't know.
I'd be
He's good in
willing-
everything he does. Just it's not
I'd,
always a good
I'd
movie.
be willing to put
Not
him up
always.
as mesmerizing. I mean, I think Tom Hardy's mesmerizing in everything.
Yes.
Well, if you want to throw him up there, I can probably find a few matches for him.
I am officially putting him forward.
I don't understand. Tom Hardy isn't on our mesmerized list?
No,
No, never been.
never, we've
Never been on?
No, never been
What's the
taken off.
dumbest thing I've ever heard? Of course he's mesmerizing.
There you go.
Yeah, why?
Well, it's stupido. What's going on?
All right.
What is wrong with you, Jim, for not bringing this up earlier?
I don't
What is
know.
wrong with me?
I
What's
don't know.
apparently everything's wrong with us.
I do know there's a new Venom coming out.
Yeah, which is probably going to make
And
it another
from what-
reason
from
why
what I can
he's
see in
not
the trailer,
Undoubted.
I don't think Spider-Man's anywhere near it. I don't even see him in it, but it's like a bunch of other Venoms from space.
Venom's from space.
So it's like Venom versus
Sounds-
like
Sounds awesome.
it's like
terrific.
Venom versus like all of his other family, his creatures. So it's 1 against 100 or whatever. So it might be interesting.
Yeah,
Plus, it's Tom Hardy.
hey,
Figure.
it's Tom Hardy.
Anyway,
It's Tom Hardy.
all right then. Is that it?
Yeah, I
So
guess
Tom-
that's it.
We're putting Tom Hardy on.
He's going to be mesmerizing.
All right then.
I can't believe that he wasn't already.
Last week on Rage or Dare. As usual, Bryce slacked off on his duties, so no free-range rage for our Jimmy boy. Yet Jim managed to pull from our listeners' dare bag of meh and found another to-be-tastic classic when he pulled the 1971 film Werewolves on Wheels. Ooh, Werewolves on Wheels. Wait, what's this? A special dare this week for the boys? One of our listeners has dared them to watch the 2003 film The Room, written, directed, and starring the legend himself, Tommy Wiseau. This was a dare? Come on, listeners, way too easy. You can do better. Oh well, I guess it was bound to happen at some point. All right then, are you ready to find out how many wheelies these werewolves can do? How do they hold on to the handlebars after all? That can't be easy. Will this film turn us Warren Zeve on, or will it be a Warren Zeve off? Ow! Werewolves on wheels. Let's check in with Jim and find out.
To-be-tastic, I love that. I'm gonna steal that.
More importantly, it's a Warren Zeve on or a Warren Zeve off.
I didn't get that.
Well, it's Werewolves of London. It has nothing to do with werewolves on wheels.
Oh, is that who does the
That's
song?
what he was. I was going, ooh.
Yeah. I heard the
Werewolves
song.
wheels.
I heard the
Yeah.
song.
Well, there wasn't really a theme music for
But
this.
London
movie,
is the best
for
werewolf
this-
one ever.
for this movie. I mean, there's not a lot of songs about werewolves. What are you gonna do? All right, well,
Clap for the
you know,
Wolfman.
I have a bit of a I guess there is another one about werewolves.
Damn right.
Okay.
Wolfman Jack.
Okay. Well, Warren Zevon was the one who wrote Werewolves of London.
Never heard of him.
All right. Well, you've heard the song. All right. Well, that's Warren Zevon.
Well,
So he was the one-hit wonder. What you're saying.
Not really.
Ish.
Sounds like he was.
Eh.
Anyway, continue.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting review because what I really want to tell you is the story about what this movie is about. Because that in itself tells the story of how, I'm not going to give any spoilers, how this movie affected me.
It affected you.
So, first off, this was no easy rider. That's for sure. Although it had all the
tried to be, I think.
had all that great 60s and 70s music throughout, like Easy Rider. It starts out with these mean bikers, and I'm putting that in heavy quotes,
Yeah.
who chase down and beat up these two dudes at a gas station, then go inside the convenience store of the gas station, and one of their lady friends shows her boobies to the gas station attendant and then tears his shirt off and then rubs up against him, and then they roll around on a apparently couch that's in the convenience store. While
I think it
at-
was a diner too.
yeah, well, another biker reads tarot cards,
Yeah.
where he tells the future of one of the ladies that she will die in the tower with Satan, which then they ride to the middle of nowhere and
Foreshadowing.
find a monk's cult who drug them, start a satanic ritual as one lady gets up from being drugged, then strips and dances naked around a monk circle jerk, Satan style. Then the bikers wake up, and from their haze, they have a fist fight with the monks, where the monks write poop or something on their face, or maybe it's blood or something, I'm not sure. Then they grab the naked dance girl and ride off with her to meet the rest of their gang, where they have a campfire, get drunk, and two of them get killed by werewolf hands. Then they wake up the next day and notice that two dead people. And so they ride their bikes again away from the two dead people while a cool song plays, and then they go back to the gas station, but then they pretend it's a different gas station, like they went somewhere else. Then they steal like 1 liter of gas, maybe, and then they drive off. Yeah, so there's 12 bikes and 1 liter of gas that they steal. Then they drive to a dump for God knows what reasons. Then one of them says he wants to quit the band. Oh, sorry, not a band. It's a gang. So they light the dump on fire, and then a bunch of nothing happens except a terrible John Wayne impersonation. Then a couple of werewolf hands kill a couple of other random people, and then the number of the members of the gang grew over the night, almost like gremlins or something poured water on them and they multiplied. So then they drive off again, saying that they want to kill the monks. Then they drive through a magic fog and end up in a desert for no reason. Then they drive off after the leader punches out one of the dudes, but then they kind of leave him there, and the gang somehow, they get lost. Maybe it's in the fog. Almost like it was, depending on what day, you get more or less gang members in the gang, because sometimes there's 6, sometimes there's 12, sometimes there's 20, but you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes the gang is just bigger or smaller.
Other chapters.
It's just depends
They meet
on
up
who
in the
showed up
desert.
for work that day. So then by magic, the guy who the leader punched out when they drove away from him magically appears in the location where they stop when they get to wherever they're going, and then they fight again. And then they light another campfire where a wax dude that kind of looks like a giant candle dildo from monk cult Circle Jerk appears in the fire, and one of them turns into a werewolf that looks like the 1941 version of the Wolfman. Then a naked dancer lady turns also into a werewolf. They light her on fire, and then they chase the other dude who's actually now a werewolf, and he's riding on a motorcycle, and how he's holding on, I don't know, till they light him on fire, and then he explodes. Then they go to the monks to beat them up, but the monks look at them and then give them blood dripped in bread, and then they drive away, maybe as werewolves, maybe not. I'm not sure.
So it makes you think.
It's a real think piece.
I was thinking a lot.
How bad
Why I wish I was on drugs when I watched this.
Yeah.
And I was just begging for something to happen. Yeah. So this was a super hot mess of werewolf arms, motorcycle gangs, devil worshipping monks, some TNA, and gas station stealing episode. Yeah, this was really, really bad, and there wasn't not very much redeeming qualities, although I did like werewolf hands. Like, if you're going to kill someone, just use the werewolf hands.
So it was good?
No, it was terrible.
Oh.
It was awful.
Yeah, because I'm bored and not working right now. I watched about half of this, and yeah, it was terrible. I couldn't get through half. I'm like, this is just stupid.
There's no, like, I couldn't figure out what the story was. He just kept driving around and stopping, then having a fire, and then all of a sudden one of them would be like.
I don't think they actually showed anybody actually getting killed. They just showed
they showed the werewolf hands.
The werewolf hands. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. This was painful. Thank you, listeners. You've redeemed yourself from the listener dare bag of Maz. What I want to say. So we got to watch Tommy.
Oh, you said it was a room.
It is with Tommy.
Tommy with so.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I mean, this is kind of low hanging fruit because I mean it's known to be. I mean, did you see this in cinemas last time it was in town?
No, I watched it once as a curiosity on home video many years ago.
Rogan?
No,
that was
the movie about
him. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but this is the actual.
This is the
movie.
actual movie that was based on the making of that movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm
Terrible.
kind of not looking forward to this
It's terrible.
because it is really bad. The funniest thing about it is he's made his whole career off of making a movie that he pretends he made intentionally to be bad,
Yeah.
but that's not true. He just made a terrible movie.
Was that a thing? He doesn't defend it in any way, or?
No, he talks about openly about the fact that he meant to make it bad. Ha ha ha.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a
Well,
thing.
that's sad. He should just embrace it.
Yeah, just like you don't think Plan 9 from Outer Space? You don't think Ed Wood wasn't proud of that masterpiece?
Yes.
Which that's coming to cinemas, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and
I'll watch
we should
it in
go
cinema.
see it. Yeah. Well, it's playing this weekend, I think.
You know what it is playing?
I used to have it on Blu-ray. I don't know if I have it
You know what
anymore.
it is playing next weekend at our favorite art house cinema.
I'm listening.
Co-sponsored by our favorite festival,
Oh.
which I never liked, but I know certain people who love it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the Toxic Avenger.
Oh, nice.
So if you're into that one, check it out
Yeah.
at the Globe
Exactly.
next weekend.
And thanks, April, for daring us to see The Room, which we will be talking about next week.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, our god of rage, from the Nerdy Photographer, for the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us a rage. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage
Rage
on?
on.